Hello, everybody. Let me actually make an announcement also, so people are watching, just in case nobody knows yet. And I'm checking the Twitch. We look like we're live. Amazing, good stuff indeed. Um, yeah. Hello, everyone. I am Shar. I am your host today. Today we're going to be talking about what you need to know in order to be successful at the UCSD competition later this year. And also talking a little bit about what's going to be going on at the Midwest Conference tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I am joined here today by a lot of new faces. We got Michael from UCSD, Zoe from UCSD, and Ace from UCSD. Very UCSD heavy stream here. I'll go ahead and let you guys introduce yourself. Let's start with Michael.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm the president of UCSD. This is my third year in RoboMaster, and me and Zoe put together the bid for RMNA 2025. So we're very excited to host, and yeah.
That's
Uh,
awesome. All right, Zoe, you're next.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Zoe. I think that this is like my third and a half year in RoboMaster. I am a fourth year. I'm no longer active member of TR, but I love TR. You know, once you're in, you're never out. And yeah, I'm helping Michael with planning the comp.
Wow, really, really true about once you're in, you're never out. I'm still here, for example. All right, and then Ace, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Yellow. So I'm an alumni from UCSD. I graduated about a year ago at this point, and I think I just joined the operations team, or I guess more specifically the broadcast team, like about a couple weeks ago. So this is my first time on the desk. Super excited. I'll be on tomorrow as well for the Midwest conference, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, incredibly excited to have you. Ace will be also
Right
commentating
on.
at UCSD during the competition. So we're kind of getting him into the field here, getting him to get a little bit of experience this way. But yeah, welcome, everyone. Let's see if chat is saying that we sound horrible. Chat, can you give us a sound check real quick? Do we sound fine? Is everything good? I'll let them speak while we continue. Um, but yeah, so let's just hop right in real quick. Zoe, Michael, you guys have been in charge of the UCSD planning so far. So I'm kind of curious, like, how has that been? What have been some of the like challenges you've run into? What are some of the interesting stuff in case anyone wants to bid for later this year? Give me a little bit of a highlight reel here. What's happening?
So I can go ahead with some of the challenging parts. I think that the number one thing you should be aware of is it's going to take a while to get responses back from anybody you talk to. Um, any department, it's just kind of the way the game works. A lot of times you're reaching out through email, and so if you don't get into that inbox right at like 8 a.m., then you're kind of cooked. Don't be afraid to send follow-ups often. Um, and yeah, I would try and plan it out so that if you're relying on a reply from someone, you can kind of do other things while you're waiting for that reply. I think the toughest part was when you needed a response from person A to do task B, and then person A is just like on vacation or something, and then task
Has
B
this
just ends
happened a
up.
lot?
I
It
feel like
happened.
there's a story here. I feel like we have
Yeah.
to know what the story is.
What's the story here? Who was person A and why were they on vacation for so
Yeah,
long?
right?
You know how winter is, and also spring. Vacation's nice, but just keep a schedule, do things early. I can't stress that enough. And yeah, try and get emails. Also try and get phone numbers if you can, so you can just directly call people. Because that one's always going to be better than just emailing.
Yeah, the university administrators, they're smart. They hide their phone numbers off the internet so you can't call them. But if you can get a hold of their number and harass them, it's the best way. It's the most consistent way to get their response.
Would you
So real.
rather?
This is
Would
probably
you
why they
rather
don't give it out for
deal?
free.
Actually, I am curious. Would you rather deal with the university or with external suppliers if you had to pick one?
External suppliers,
You think?
I'm, yeah, the university, they don't care. I mean, like, I'm buying a service from them and they still don't care. But for an external supplier, like, that's their bottom line, that's their business. So they actually would respond in a timely manner to their customers and actually care about their interactions with their customers. And also, if I were to go to an external supplier, they have legal obligations to me contractually. But for most of the university people, it's like, yeah, we'll offer this to you, maybe, but we're not going to sign a contract saying that we'll offer it to you. So you have in a lot of situations, you have zero leverage against the university employees. You're sort of at their whim. So I would say external suppliers would be easier to work with.
You know what? That's very fair. I can believe that, having worked a lot with external suppliers currently with operations, that feels pretty real. I guess my next question then for you is like, how has the hosting been different than working with the team? I guess you kind of mentioned a little bit like external suppliers, the university, you have a different relationship, obviously. But now that you both are kind of like more divorced from the team and now working more on the like the hosting side, what's been like the difference in your relationship to the team? What's been interesting there?
As somebody who's like not involved at all with the team, I can say that like the biggest thing is the finesse required. I feel like there was pre-engineering Zoe who was very afraid to be direct with people, very afraid to be blunt. And then I got into engineering and I learned that engineers love that. They generally like directness, and that doesn't really work when you are asking for things. Like you definitely have to stand your ground, especially with the university. Like Michael said, you don't have any leverage, so you have to hold on to what you do have. But you also have to have a kind of finesse and business acumen to say, hey, here's what I'm going to give you, here's why investing in me is good. And then especially with negotiations as well, like having finesse is really important and very different from working on the team. Usually on the team, it's like it feels more like we're all working towards a common goal. Like what's good for me is also good for you. Doesn't always feel like that when talking to people about getting money, because it's like they're giving you something, you're benefiting usually most from that money.
Yeah, that's very fair. I'm guessing, yeah, sponsorship acquisition becomes a very different kind of ball game, it sounds like, once you're like actually in charge of hosting and doing a venue kind of situation there. That makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Michael, do you have anything to add to that?
Not really on how hosting differs and working on the team. Yeah, I mean, just I would say from a team perspective, during hosting, there's nothing technical, right? It's just all like managing personal relationships, and so you have to be, I guess, kind of put on like a fake outward face for a lot of the university administration, and try and like take a lot of punches and just keep on going, because you have to maintain a good relationship with them, because you don't have a whole lot of leverage, just like Zoe mentioned.
Yeah, no, that's very, very fair. Incredibly fair. Do you guys still do any work on the team at all for Triton Robotics?
I direct the team definitely from a high level, but I'm very happy that I have leads who are very autonomous and can run their teams well. I feel like if I still had to do technical stuff on the team, it would just be too much work. Yeah, which is something I recommend for like other teams who are thinking about hosting. If you're president or executives, or mostly either your president or people who are going to be working with you on this sort of thing, if they're going to still have technical roles, you're not going to have a good time. You have to focus on, I would say, it's not that you have to focus on one or the other. It's just that RMNA is going to absorb a lot of your time. And so sometimes that's going to come at the cost of other things. And a technical role with just doing them at the same time wouldn't work out.
Yeah. No,
Let me
that's very fair.
actually interject. I am curious. So now that you guys are both kind of away from the team, what part do you miss the most, kind of in hindsight?
I like not having any responsibility, and I miss that. I miss just working on the code and just getting what I can done. But now I have responsibilities to the team and to RMNA, and if I don't deliver, bad things happen. So
bad things happen. The entire competition stops. It's like, just bad things happen. Nothing particularly crazy.
RMNA gets canceled, but
yeah, nothing crazy or anything like that. I haven't spent like months of my life on that for nothing. Nah, it's all good.
For me, I would say the thing that I miss the most is just working with people who are as passionate about the project as you are. I feel like that generally in engineering, you want to, since it's so difficult, you want to assume that everybody has like a really raw passion for it, but that's not always the case. You run into a lot of people who are like, yeah, I'm just, it's taking it day by day, just trying to get by. But I miss like working long nights with people, like working with my team and having them be excited to tell me about what parts they're working on, when we're going to start manufacturing and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
That's
that
fair.
passion element is super huge. I feel like, I mean, that's kind of the case in every robotics competition. I mean, we all came from FRC at some point or other. It was kind of the same there. Late nights, big grind, and it's kind of the fun of it. I'll ask you guys on the flip side, what parts do you not miss as much?
Man, you mentioned FRC, and now I'm thinking about his build
Yeah, right.
season.
It's like
That's what I
nostalgia.
don't miss. That's absolutely no. I don't
Really?
miss build season at all. 6 weeks to get a robot done was a lot.
Dude, I loved build season back then, man. That was like I lived for that thing.
That's so crazy.
Nah,
Michael,
like
it
those
seems
are
like
those
you
are the
have an
best
answer
6 weeks
for
of my
I
year.
I can delegate a lot of boring work out to my team members. Anything that doesn't sound fun, I just give to someone else. Generally, the fun stuff I also have to give away, but sometimes I can keep some of it. But I would say, yeah, I would say just even as a very high level sort of executive in the team, I have some control in the team's technical direction, but uh, and I get listened to a lot more, unlike being a normal member, which is nice. But yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I also
Uh,
just wanted to.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
go ahead.
no, you go ahead. You go ahead
Uh,
first. You're the interview chair. I don't have to talk over you by any means, please.
I was gonna say, I don't miss how quickly things would change. You kind of, especially I think, being mechanical, we spent a lot of time working on the design and trying to cook, and then sometimes just competition rules or electronic needs kind of get thrown in, and then you go, oh man, I wish I'd known this like a month ago or even two or even like a week ago. It's always somehow exactly right after I went, okay, I think this is good, and then somebody's like, can you actually add this part? And I'm like, yeah, totally. Yeah, of course, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So I don't miss that, but there was also um a kind like a thinking on your feet aspect that is good for that.
Oh, just wait till we get to actual competition. Then you'll really have to think on your feet. Don't worry about it. I am kind of curious though, because you guys have both kind of mentioned this now. So you're still at least aware of what UCSD's robotics team is doing, Triton Robotics in this case. I'm curious if you had to measure your strength this year, where you think you're falling. What's the goal for the team overall? And has hosting impacted that in any capacity? Are you undershooting, overshooting because you have any pros and cons? What are the benefits you've gained from hosting, the cons you've gained from hosting, and what is UCSD going to bring to us a competition this year as a team?
So I guess as always, not super involved with the team, but I am. So I guess our high level goals for 3v3 and 1v1. 3v3, we want to win at least 4 rounds. So last year we
Okay.
won one 3v3 round. This year we want to win 4. That's our target. And then for 1v1 at a high level, I think we won 2 matches last year. So we want to try and win 4 as well there. We want to get our first auto aim kill this year. I think it's going to happen.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. So I think that's what we're shooting for. Our first auto aim kill, be the development and like the history of our auto aim. And it's even harder this year because last year, uh, first century auto aim kill. That's what I want. Because then we have to actually navigate to the center of the arena. But I think it can
Yeah.
be done, and our autonomy team has been really amazing this year. So many people who have been very actively involved in developing all sorts of systems to make this happen. And then also just making our robots like more like lighter and more compact. So we really stuck with a lot of the same designs from last year because the fundamentals of the designs were okay, but they were just sort of very bulky sometimes. And then we also integrated suspension. So our robots are a lot lighter this year. They have suspension, so they'll drive smoother. And then hopefully our software systems will be developed enough to get a Sentry auto aim kill That's
Wow,
our
it
goals.
sounds like you made a lot of improvements from last year, given a whole new suspension system, a lot of controls changes. That's interesting to hear. I like that you guys are shooting for something a little bit higher. In fact, you said win 4 rounds. I'm realizing that if you win 4 rounds, that gets you out of groups automatically. I'm putting the schedule in my head. I'm like, that gets you out of groups. So you're basically saying we're getting top 8. And I love to hear that personally. That's exciting for me personally to hear. But yeah, I'm gonna take a quick second to just remind chat. We actually have been posting these in the chat as well. We have these fancy new RoboMaster emotes. If you want to be able to use the Hebo pointing emoji, you're gonna have to subscribe. Give me your Prime subs, please. Thank you. That'll give you access to those tier 1 emotes. You'll get a lot of cool stuff that way. On top of that, please subscribe to our YouTube. We're hosting both places. You should be watching in both places if you're not. You should be watching in both places if you're not. Subscribe to both, like that YouTube stream as well. But we'll keep this interview going. I am curious as well. One last kind of interesting thing. We talked a little bit about this in this last question, but what are the benefits that you have gained from hosting the competition? Are there any benefits that you've gained for the team? Is there any cons that have for example, like distracted you from being able to do work? You kind of mentioned a little bit. I'm curious, like, what is the overlay there? What do teams who are considering hosting have to expect when it comes to their own progress in the technological innovation side?
This hosting has been up and down, real roller coaster of emotions. There have been some really great successes and some bad failures. But at the end of the day, what I tell myself is hopefully a lot of TR members are going to come to comp. Unlike some RoboMaster teams, UCSD doesn't pay for us to travel. So it's very expensive to go to comp for a lot of members. So they just don't go. And so I know at the very least this year we have enough people who are interested in going to comp, where at the very least we're going to beat the number of people who were at comp last year. And I'm hoping we bring at least like 15, maybe 20 people to comp this year, which is something that we've never done before, I don't think. Or I think. So yeah, that's what I tell myself. It's like this is a lot of work. But it's going to be good for the team, and it's going to be good for our members because it's going to make it a lot more affordable for them to come. I guess the other benefits for comp, we don't have to ship our robots. That's always a really annoying logistical challenge.
Incredibly huge bonus, I would agree.
Like I always say, last year UPS split our robots in half, so that was fun. So we don't have to deal with that.
Sorry. That reminds me of when I was on the NYU team. We started splitting our own robots in half, putting them in suitcases because it was cheaper and less crazy than UPS splitting them in half for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's always the sort of home turf advantage because you have access to your project space. Although I will say we're trying to give some of that advantage away by letting people access our makerspace and 3D print farm and tool table at comp. So
that's very generous. Is that 24/7 during comp or?
The makerspace won't be 24/7. We're negotiating the hours, but it should be around the midday. And then for the tool table, that'll be in the comp room, so it'll be throughout the entire duration of the comp, which is like 8 to 8 or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear. Good stuff. Yeah. Ace, do you have any more questions specifically, or do you want me to keep going on this side?
I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, you did say you were talking to the Makerspace guys. Do you know, I know this is kind of an insider question, do you know if David, Mr. Lester is going to be there the whole time, or what's the deal with that?
I don't know if David's going to be there. I think what he said is that there's going to be some makerspace staff there at the very least.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's not going to be free for all. We're going to have we're going to try and designate a few people from each team and say you have X number of people who can go into the makerspace. That way, there's not like 300 people there. So,
yeah, that makes sense. Sense. Do you know if the entire makerspace is going to be fully operational during that time? Because of course it's going to be over the summer. Or do you know if it's going to be like a limited access kind of deal?
I think it's going to be a limited access kind of deal. I think the biggest thing is we're going to open up their print farm and maybe to a lesser extent, like some of their soldering irons and stuff like that. Gotcha. But definitely, I don't think we'll be giving teams access to like the lathe or anything.
Oh yeah.
These emails because it's just hard to verify if everyone's trained and be safe about it. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's still pretty cool that we are able to pull something like that off. Because I remember a couple of years ago when we were at UW, it was like such a big deal that we could go, and I think we had to like solder like 2 or 3 things, and it wasn't a very big like task, but the ability to be able to get that done like during competition was so big for us. So it's super cool that we're able to do that.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. I think having makerspace access is very important, and the fact that all the teams will get access to that is very nice. I hope the teams thank you extremely much for that, especially because that's a quite a big negotiation to make in general. Yeah, eventually you have 3D printing. You've got all kinds of other, I'm guessing, tools in there as well that people can use to fix up their bots and stuff. That's awesome. That's very, very good work on your guys' part.
Yeah. The whole point of this sort of thing is not to like sort of replace outright the tools that teams use, because I think if every team swarms the makerspace and the tool table, then there's still going to be like some issues like with just the amount of people there. But just to replace tools that teams are like, I forgot that, or that it's delayed in shipping or something like that, and you just kick yourself and you're like, man, this is going to hurt our comp performance because of this. And so just sort of if you forget a tool, or you have a 3D print that you just can't print out in time, maybe we can help you out with that.
I love that. I love that. You guys, that's so cool. That's such a great thing, honestly. I love the fact that you guys have access to this entire makerspace and you're giving it to everyone else. I think that's very, very cool. Very solid. Out of curiosity, though, kind of shifting away from the actual competition stuff, what is there to do in UCSD? What are you guys going to recommend to
Dude,
teams?
you read my mind, dude. I was literally about to ask like just
Right?
now, like
Yeah.
the exact scenario I was thinking of. Like teams have like kind of one day like after competition, right? What is there to do? That is such a good question.
The real question is, what do I do in San Diego on my off time? If I get off time, we'll see when I get there if I get off time at all. But what should I be doing?
Yeah, Zoe and I have been asked this question. I guess I'll give my recommendations and we'll see if Zoe has any more. But I would say number one thing, go to the San Diego Zoo. It's probably one of, if not the best zoo in the United States, and probably one of the best zoos in the world. It's really amazing. It's big. They have like all sorts of animals on display, and it'll be summer, so the weather will be very nice out. So it'll just be amazing to visit. Other than the San Diego Zoo, you can go to La Jolla Cove, right, and go see the seals. So you should be able to see the seals hanging out in the cove. That'll be nice. Go to the beach. Go register for surfing lessons. It's always fun. Other than that, you could also visit Balboa Park. There are a lot of cool museums around there. It's a very pretty spot. And the Balboa Park Botanical Garden just reopened. So I've heard that's really good right now.
I heard that, right, guys? Right. I heard Michael's volunteering to teach us how to surf. Anyone else heard that? I feel like he definitely said that at least twice.
I agree, actually. I think Michael said that he's going to teach everyone at RMNA how to surf. We're having a surf
true.
day.
He did say that.
Forget RoboMaster Technical Conference. Let's just do a surf day instead. That's what we'll do.
Michael, your surfing credentials. How can we trust you?
I'm not going to teach anything. Here you go, Ace. Oh, wait. I'll pull Calvin in. Calvin's the real surfing expert, our former president.
Surf now?
He's been surfing regularly.
Oh my
now.
God. Wait, this is actually breaking news for me, not gonna lie.
I'll pull Calvin in, yeah. He'll teach everyone.
I never actually realized Calvin was a surfer because the last time I talked to him was like when we graduated. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. That's awesome though.
That's so funny.
You have someone to teach us how to surf.
The chat immediately going off, telling me media team, they thinking they get off time. Or is this someone on the media team telling me that? Don't tell me I'm not getting off time. Come on, man. Give me one day to go learn surfing from Calvin in this case. I need it, clearly. So do you have any other thoughts or about like what we can do in UCS or in San Diego, I should say, not just at UCSD necessarily?
I will say if you have one day, the zoo's a day of entertainment. They've got a double-decker bus that goes around. They've got a tram, like a sky tram that goes across the zoo. It's really amazing, and then it's in that Balboa area. So there's, like Michael said, a bunch of museums. I did a speed run of those with my friends over spring break, which was fun. I also recommend going to the Maritime Museum. It's down by the bay. Over spring break, we took like a boat tour around the bay just to get like a history of San Diego, and I thought that was really fun. It was a little cold that day, so I know in the summer it's going to be amazing. And yeah, my biggest thing is I want people to go to the beach. I want the robotics kids to get out in the sun, get some tans.
Are you telling all the robotics kids to touch grass? That's
touch
horrible.
sand.
Touch sand.
Touch sand.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Touch sand while you're at it, actually. Yeah, forget competition. I think that's a great strategy. Make everyone who's your competition go touch sand, and then you just win by default. Exactly. The schedule keeps going. The schedule waits for nobody.
On to the arguably more important question, Zoe. Where do I go eat?
Ooh,
Where
What are
that
the
is a
good
really good
places
question.
What are
to
the good
eat?
cuisines in San Diego?
Well, I can just say we at San Diego we love Convoy. They have a lot of great spots down there. It's always busy, always packed, but you're guaranteed to find something down there that you like. Um, and then over the break, we got to this Italian restaurant called Salento in Little Italy, and that was amazing. So I recommend that. And then we are San Diego, so we're right by the border. Get yourself some tacos. You owe it to yourself, especially if you don't live on a coast, especially if you don't live like in Southern California. Please go and get a taco, get a burrito. It'll blow your mind.
Actually, I'm literally begging every single Texan in particular to please eat some real Mexican food. Because whatever you have
Real
down there is
Mexican
not real
food?
Mexican food. Tex-Mex
What
is not
the?
is not
Okay,
good. I hate to break it to
we
you
need
guys.
to roll this back real quick. I'm a Texan. I'm a Texan. Let me first put this out here. I'm a Texan. When you say real Mexican food, what do you
I
mean
mean
by
real Mexican food. How else could I possibly define it?
that?
It is
Okay, now
authentic, right next to the border Mexican food. You can't get better than that.
what is the San Diego premier location to get Mexican food? Because I'm gonna try this during comp now, and I will let everyone in chat know, everybody on this stream, when we podcast again during competition, what my honest thoughts are on San Diego Mexican food versus Texas Mexican food. But I need to get your best. What is your best Mexican food?
I don't know. I had to think about this one. There's like
Doesn't
a
even
couple
know.
different places that come to mind.
Huh?
Where did William go the other week?
I thought that. Oh, just William?
Well, William and the other people.
Oh, where I went tacos.
Yeah.
I think the taco stand's a pretty good shout. The one that's kind of
Okay.
like near, it's like in La Jolla Cove, if I'm not mistaken. But that's probably one of my favorite places to go. I don't know, Michael. What do you think?
I would say I haven't been exploring the Mexican cuisine in San Diego very much, but I like this place called Lolita's in Convoy. They
Yep.
they have a lot of good food.
That's a good shout as well.
Yeah.
The people in chat would like to know, how does In-N-Out in California compare to Texas? Is it
Uh,
actually better?
I've never been to Texas, but it's damn good down here. I'll say it. I'll
Wait,
say it.
So
Are we
we should
comparing
all
to like
take it.
Whataburger or what? Like what's
I
the
think they're
Okay,
just
whoa. You can't compare it to Whataburger. Whataburger
Well, I mean,
is like
it's not like there's an
Vegas.
In-N-Out in Texas. Wait, is there an In-N-Out in Texas?
there might be In-N-Out in Texas.
I
I've
think.
never
might be
seen
south
In-N-Out.
enough.
Actually,
Oh wait,
there
you're
is
right.
an
There's
In-N-Out
one. There's one in Fort Worth.
Dallas. Yes, the Dallas Fort Worth area has an In-N-Out. I was
Yes.
thinking of the exact same one, Ace. I was thinking of the exact same one. So apparently the California one is better, is what I'm hearing.
Well,
We
actually, I
have
hate
at
to break
least
it to you.
3.
I've been to the Fort Worth one, and I've been to the California ones. Obviously, they're about the same. I hate to break
They're
it to you guys.
about the same. So
Yeah.
what
Believe
we've
it.
learned is that it actually doesn't matter where the In-N-Out is. It's the same food. Isn't that crazy, guys? They make it the same
Who
way.
would have thought?
Who would have thought? Apparently, there's also an In-N-Out in Waco and Houston as well. The more you know. The more you know. Anyways, enough about the food talk. Let's get back onto the robotics talk. I am curious to know, and chat also, you're welcome to ask any questions at any time, and we will read them out for these lovely people here. But I am curious to know one kind of last thing, that the one thing that's really burning on my mind. What skills have you gained from hosting that you think you'll take with you going forward, either into your future careers or into like any kind of endeavors you do? Do you want to host other things, for example? Is that something? Have you been inspired? You're like, oh my god, I love hosting competitions. I want to keep hosting competitions for the rest of my life. I doubt that, but I have to ask just in case, right? But I'm curious, like, what's something you're taking with you out of this whole experience?
Well, I can't say that I want to host for the rest of my life. It's been fun, and I would definitely, if asked, I would probably do it again. But I just like saying yes to things. I would say the biggest thing I've learned is dealing with bureaucracy, and learning when to pick battles. It's huge to kind of navigate the university space. you've got a lot of departments. You got Department A that doesn't talk to B, but they do like the same thing, but you got to talk to C before you can talk to them. Kind of like we talked about before. And then just, I know for myself, I really hate like smoke and mirrors type stuff. I like to be honest and direct, and I just that's just kind of how I am. And I've learned actually from watching Michael a lot, like talking to potential sponsors, talking to university admin, just how to be more tactful and kind of navigate these verbal battlefields to get what you want without giving up too much.
Real. That was very well articulated. I really that's very fair actually. I think it's a very good skill to be able to learn working in bureaucracy, especially the picking your battles thing. I think that's something that's like I feel like I would have to agree, having become an operator. It's very much like not every fight is worth it. And most fights aren't, I would say, actually. Most things just aren't worth it half the time when it comes to arguing over them.
No
But Michael,
kidding.
would you have anything to add on that? Something you're taking with you going forward?
No, just learning to navigate the bureaucracy, like Zoe said, a lot of the same skills that need to be
Yeah.
used.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys think there's ever a world where UCSD comes back to host it again? Although obviously you guys will graduated by that time probably, but still.
The
you think the
way
world-
that things are playing out now, the way that the university has structured this whole thing and the policies that exist right now, I would say I would not recommend to a future TR president or any engineering org at UCSD to try and host something of this scale. I think that policy changes can definitely be made, and after this whole thing is done, I'm going to try and argue to the university administrators that policy changes should be made. But it's just been a huge pain, way more than I thought it would be, and we're working through it. But it's just I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know.
I don't want to pry like too much, but can you give us a small sneak peek of what the hindering policy look like?
I'm not gonna talk about it until after comp. I don't want to anger any university people until I've gotten what I want from them.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
I don't know if you should say that on a live stream if you're not trying to anger them. Then I'm just trying to I'm just not going to say anything until I've used them the way that I want to, and then I'm done with them, and then I can actually start talking about what I feel. I don't know if that's the best strategy for that either necessarily.
That's the Michael Owens tact. There you go.
I never doubt it, and I'll never doubt it. We'll have a second podcast, and you can just rant. Like the day after competition is done, we'll just put you on the stream. You can just go hard.
We will have a post-competition podcast. It will definitely be done, and so we'll definitely get you on there, Michael. We'll let you rant. We'll give you.
I'll have my diploma. They can't get to me.
They can't get to you anymore. The diploma's in your hands. What are they gonna do? Just revoke it? That doesn't work anymore. I've got the paper.
You can do that though.
I think they absolutely can.
I think legally universities can revoke diplomas.
Ignore the fact that I'm going to the master's program. Yeah, they can't get to me.
Wait, are you gonna do the 5-year?
6 years, but yeah.
Okay, same idea. But you're still gonna be at UCSD, right?
That's right.
Oh no.
2 more years of TR.
You're gonna be
what are you going
Coastal's.
for? What are you going for your master's in?
Master's in computer engineering.
Oh, nice. Welcome to the dark side. We love computer engineering. But yeah. What about you, Zoe? You're also graduating this year. What's next for you?
I will not be graduating this year. What's next for me is another year of
wow.
mechanical engineering undergrad. I'm hoping to stay involved with RoboMaster in some capacity. I don't really know what's available for students who are still, doing undergrad. I feel like a lot of the opportunities are mostly for people who have more time.
Yeah.
I'll be around. I'll be hanging out. Excited to have more time to spend with Michael and learn more things from him. Because he's kind of my goat.
Let's go, Michael. You're the goat. That's awesome. Are you going to still be involved with your UCSD team, or are you more looking towards like operations kind of side of things for RoboMasters? Because you mentioned you want to still be involved.
I'm done with TR. I'm done with this goddamn club.
You could feel behind that.
You can feel like slight amount of rage, a little bit of like anger, but mostly sadness is what I'm getting from that. It's just like, oh, I'm tired, man. I'm ready to be done.
It's been a long ride, and it's both good for me and good for TR for things to pass out of my control and go to the next generation. After this year, there won't be anyone who remembers Rail Sentry. It's crazy.
Oh my, really?
Yeah.
Wow,
And then
that is heartbreaking.
me, Jeffrey, and Anshul are the only ones who went to Seattle. So even that'll be gone.
That's true.
Wow.
Okay, so we
That's
already
crazy.
don't have anyone in the team who went to the original like 2020 RMNA Texas, right?
Jeffrey and Anshul went.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Wow, that we are losing all the OGs. That is heartbreaking, but it's also like, you know, it is time for some people to come in. So I'm excited actually.
The new people are pretty smart, maybe even better than we are.
It's good to have such a positive outlook on your rookies. I think that'll be very interesting. But it is kind of weird to think, actually, like, I'm thinking the NYU's team as well. I don't think anyone on the team currently went to the 2022 Texas match even. I think that, like, everyone now is 2023 and beyond. They've only seen UW and CU now, which is kind of weird to think about. I'm old, man. Now you're making me feel old is the thing. You're making me like feel it in my bones. I'm like feeling like my joints crack. I am sadly older than these guys for sure. Definitely guaranteed older. But yeah,
you went to that original one, right? Way back when, like
I was in 2021 and 2022. Yeah,
awesome.
I've been there from the beginning. 2021, I didn't really do much. 2022, Tamu needed like extra volunteers, so I volunteered during competition, and that kind of sucked me into operations going forward.
Yep.
2023, I was team captaining NYU for the most part, but I did a little bit of commentary here and there. And then 2024, you would have recognized me on stream because I was co-commentating with Preston a lot and just having a bunch of fun. My fun 2024 fact is that, so Colorado, very, very high altitude. You need to drink a lot of water and your voice goes out a lot faster than most other places. So by the time the last day popped up, my voice was gone, absolutely gone. And I was dissolving lemon drops into water to make it easier to drink because I just did so much cough syrup to soothe my throat. It was the grossest thing I think I've done in my life, by far. But I had like 3 bottles, each one having a dissolved cough drop in it. I think actually, I don't know if Kaylin's in chat right now, but Kaylin, one of the UW guys, gave me the idea. And I think that's probably the worst thing I ever did, but it did help. So strategy for you guys when you're at UCSD, if you feel like your voice is gone, you've been screaming a lot, you're trying to manage all these people, you need your voice back, lemon drop, water, chug that shit immediately.
Thankfully, we are at very low elevation, like possibly the
you
lowest
are at
elevation possible.
actual sea level. It is true. That is literally that is the exact place you're at. But yeah, okay. Quick, some fun questions as well while we wait to see if chat has any more questions. Cough drops tea is elite. It's true, Preston. Cough drops tea is elite. Some quick rapid fire fun questions just so we can get to know the host before we get there. Who do you think is going to win RMNA 2025 this year?
CU 100%.
CU.
What?
UC 1,000 years.
CU UC 1,000 years.
My goodness.
They're winning 1v1 and they're winning 3v3.
I love the confidence. See, I would be very happy because I'm a Coloradan now. So I would be like, oh, perfect. My home team wins. It's like rooting for the Buffs, or rooting for the Broncos. I don't actually care. That's where I live. How about you, Zoe? Who do you think is going to win?
TR, baby. TR.
TR
number
also,
1.
So when you
TR
said
number 1.
when you said you're hitting for 4 matches, you actually meant all of them. You meant you're going to win the whole thing in 4 rounds. Is what I mean.
Yes.
I love the confidence. I love the confidence. See,
even if they don't win, I'm gonna be happy and proud.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a lot this year. Even being as uninvolved as I am, I know that they've been working really hard.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so sweet. I hope there's some TR people in chat who could have heard that. And if not, we need to send them this VOD so that way they can hear that.
Yeah, I'll clip it and send it to everyone.
Yeah, clip that and send it to everyone in Triton Robotics. Oh, man. Okay. What are some other fun questions about RMNA? I'm curious then. Okay, so we set our top 1 here. CU for Michael, UCSD for Zoe. Give me your top 4 prediction. Who is in 1, 2, 3, 4? The full list here.
You can feel the gears turning in Michael's head. He's thinking about it now.
He's ranking in his head.
He's got his number one, and you know UW's going to be up there at some point. So the question is that like a second place team for Michael? Does he see a CU versus UW Grand Finals? Does VT sneak their way back into that top four? Tamu, you know, what is Michael thinking about here?
I think it's going to go CU,
Okay.
then VT,
Okay,
then
UW,
ARUW,
okay.
and then UT.
So
Okay,
you have
Michael.
UW being knocked out by CU in semis.
CU and VT would have to beat them to get into first and second.
Oh yeah, true.
That's interesting. Interesting, Michael. I like that.
This is a crazy hot take. What?
I
Where did this come
like
from?
this. This is interesting. That's what I like to hear.
Well, okay,
Steven agrees with you 1,000%, Michael. Steven is on your side.
What is the rationale here? Like, give us a little bit of insider.
Yeah, give us some
information
insider
as to
info.
Why
What are
you
you
think that
thinking
CU is taking
Insider info, I can't be leaking
Well,
that.
you get
Not
something.
insider info.
No one
What's
says
your-
that CU is winning, like outright, like without
What's your
some
thought process?
knowledge.
I think CU is always consistently, or within the last like couple of years has consistently like pushed their robots and has always been able to fundraise very well. And I think also they've been able to scale their team this year, right? Because they're doing RMUC, or at least they're going to try. So I think. Also they're not trolling themselves anymore because they're leaving the funny CODOS Edge 2 behind, and they're using a Jetson this year.
That one's real.
finally.
I remember when they
I
finally
think
told me that.
That was a
I
great
think
idea.
their auto is going to be better than this year. So I think CU is going to have more money than last year, although I don't know anything about their finances. And I think they're going to have more members because they can accept more people on their team because they're doing RMUC. And their software stack is going to just become more mature because there's more eyes on it. And so I think that's what's going to make the difference this year.
All right. I like that rationale. How about you, Zoe? What is your top four? What's your rationale for it?
All right, I'm happy you asked. Obviously, my
you've
number
been
one
thinking
is
about
Triton Robotics because
Really?
I love Triton Robotics, obviously.
Mhm.
Number two is CU because UCCU, of course. Also,
UCCU.
logically, they've been doing real good. They've been growing a lot year to year. So I believe in them. Three, I'm gonna say VT. No real particular reason. I just believe. I like the color. And then I'm gonna put ARUW at fourth because why not?
I think it's so interesting that everyone
wanna
is taking
see-
the previous 4 years of RoboMaster champion
No one
and going,
has
you know what?
UW winning.
Maybe fourth.
They can't
Maybe
do it
third.
again. They
They
can't
do it
again.
again. He
They
can't
can't
keep getting
5
away
feet.
with this.
Come on. That'd be crazy.
We're not letting them, is what I'm hearing. We're rigging the bracket,
True.
actually, is what I'm hearing.
Whoa.
It was about time. We were due for a shakeup in RMNA. Let's be real. It was about time.
Yeah.
I would like a shakeup. Don't get me wrong. I'm just shocked that everyone's predicting the shakeup. This is usually a shakeup is a shakeup because it's not predicted. In this case, two of these people are like, oh yeah, UW like third and fourth. Like no shot they make top two. What? Why VT also ahead of them? That's the craziest part to me.
I don't know. I believe.
You know what?
I
I
don't know,
like
team's
what
on the come up. Think about it.
Think about it.
I do also. Preston texted us here in the Twitch chat and was like, "The color? That's what you're putting VT over UW for? The color is better."
That makes sense.
This isn't a design competition. This is an engineering competition.
I mean,
They go hand in
it's
hand.
part of engineering, isn't it?
Exactly.
You know what? So I guess fashion is kind of part of engineering. Are you good at UX design? Is the coloring good? That is in some ways engineering.
I hope that they come out on top and it's exactly like that, just so I can be like, yeah, no, I was cooking.
Zoe, if yours comes true, I absolutely think you're a psychic, and also I need you to predict the rest of my life and when I will find love. That would be very appreciated. Man, those are some interesting takes, guys. Okay, a couple more questions about your personal lives, and then I'll let you go. What do you guys do outside of RoboMaster, outside of this hosting stuff? We talked a lot about hosting, about all this stuff. What do you guys do outside of that? What are some fun things that you guys do, either in San Diego to give some more benefits and tips to the people that are watching at home, or just for your own sake? Give us some of your hobbies.
I've been on the Marvel Rivals grind. I'm bronze 2
Ooh.
now.
What
What do you
ranking?
mean?
Oh,
Bronze
no. We're under
2?
bronze
What do you
2.
mean?
No, I don't play ranked very much, but I love playing that. Yeah, I just like gaming. I do RoboMaster. I work in a robotics lab at UCSD, and yeah, that's pretty much what I do all day.
That's so fair. I think that's great. Who do you main in Marvel Rivals? I gotta know.
That's the real question.
I play Iron Man.
You play Iron Man?
No wonder you're bronze
You're
2.
you're
Oh,
the problem with Marvel Rivals.
Say the line.
You're
Say
the
the
problem.
line.
Insta lock Iron
Oh,
Man
Lord.
every match.
Oh,
You're the
jeez.
problem in Marvel Rivals. You're
Five
the
DPS, 1 healer. I'm not switching.
We found out why he's bronze 2, guys. Tim. He's the common
Iron Man
denominator.
made
6 DPS, 0 healers. I'm not switching.
I'm not switching, bro.
Over under Michael's win rate 15%. Not gonna. I'm taking the under. I don't know.
You're taking the under?
Dude, I'm gonna be real. I'm taking the
Under
under, Michael.
15?
I'm sorry.
feel like
I'm
if you just-
sorry.
I feel like if you just AFK in the game, you probably have a better win rate than 15%. That can't be
That's fair.
real.
That's fair. Fine. Over. I'll take the under on 35. I think that's more accurate.
Okay,
I'll
I
take
think
under on
35 is pushing it now. I don't know if you can get that far with Iron Man and Bronze 2 and never swapping if you have
Okay, under 35 I think is reasonable.
I think under 35 is reasonable. I agree. Zoe, how about you? What are your hobbies? What do you do outside of this craziness we call RoboMaster?
Outside of this craziness, mostly school. But I don't think that counts as a hobby.
I would say school definitively does not count as a hobby. It is something you are kind of required to go to in this case.
I run Train Outfitters at UCSD. We're a student store. We sell UCSD merch. I guess it's a hobby because it's not school related. I mean, I do work there, but I also like it. I'm passionate about it. I've been doing it since my first year. And yeah, I love it. Aside from that, I like to watch Formula One. And
Are you
I like
watching
to-
the Grand Prix this weekend
I
in
will be.
Japan?
I will. Yeah, I'll be going to Japan. to
Traveling
You're
watch
all the way
going
to
to Japan to watch
No,
it?
no.
Bro, you're
Oh.
already late. Practice is starting right now, actually.
Yeah. Wait, where's my
Ah,
ticket? Where's my ticket?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll make it.
What do you mean you didn't buy me a ticket?
Zoe,
I know
who is
it's
your-
because
God.
you voted the under on Michael's.
That's fair.
win
That's all.
rate.
That's actually on me. That's deserved. That's on me.
Yeah,
Dang,
come on, that's my
that's
goat.
because you
Come
gave
on.
us 15%. You should, if you would have started with
That's
35, you would have made it to Japan. Sorry,
Exactly.
You're
guys.
right.
That's how
Not
you got
fair.
out.
Next time. Next
So-
time. Next time.
Who do you think is? We're gonna go back to this question. Who do you think is podiuming this weekend at F1?
Go.
And Michael, I think you're in F1 too, so you can give us your thoughts on that as well.
Max, woo! Oh, sorry. Sorry about the levels.
Max P1, Max P1,
Max P1.
Max P1,
Okay.
Yuki P2.
Yuki P2. First weekend in the
This
car.
dude-
It's his home race. It's
This
his
is
home
way,
race.
way too dank.
Okay, who's P3? Who's P3?
Uh,
I'll let you sit on that. How about you, Zoe?
Well, obviously, Forza Ferrari. Charles Leclerc's front wing is gonna fly off again, and he'll take podium.
And then
Lewis
he'll get
Hamilton.
disqualified for
He's gonna
winning.
he's gonna DNF again, bro.
No,
You can't do
please,
this.
please.
It's gonna happen.
I didn't
If
even
Charles
watch-
gets first this weekend, he's DNF for sure.
I fell
I
asleep
can
Oh,
guarantee it.
right before the last race, and when I woke up, I saw the DNFs, and I was like, you know what? Of course. What else would happen?
What else would happen? Ferrari
What else
can't
would
have.
happen?
Ferrari fans can't have anything good. Okay, so Charles Leclerc, Le Goat, if you will, in P1.
Thank you. Legoat, literally. And then it's gonna be Lewis Hamilton because Forza Ferrari, and then
Legoat
3 is
Hamilton.
gonna be Oscar Piastri because
Oscar Piastri.
I think he's based.
over Norris.
I think he's
Oscar
so much more
Piastri.
based than Norris.
Dude,
That's
he's just
so
a faster
fair.
driver. Let's be real. Like he's just
I think-
faster.
I think he's just funnier, honestly. I don't even care if he's faster. I like
Yeah.
him more for his personality.
Yeah,
He's so
yeah.
funny.
I think Norris is definitely faster, but Oscar's just
Yeah.
more of a person I would enjoy watching.
That's so fair. Okay, Michael, have you thought of your P3 yet?
I think it's probably going to be Lando Norris, but it'll feel good because Max is still competing.
Ooh. Sorry,
Okay.
I respect your opinion, even though it's wrong.
Here's my podium. I think Fernando Alonso first, because that's my GOAT. He's got to get it back in. He's got to get
that
back into
rookie?
P1.
The rookie,
Yeah, the
Fernando
best
Alonso?
rookie by far, right?
Okay,
Fernando
okay,
Alonso.
okay.
P1, Fernando Alonso. I think Yuki Tsunoda P2, because I think it'd be hilarious. I really want to do well. And I think Liam Lawson P3. If that happens, it's peak F1 weekend. That's my personal hope. I want to see Liam Lawson in the V-Carb outdo Max Verstappen. I think it needs to happen.
There are odds. Do you see how well they did in practice? P5, P6.
P5, P6, and P2, exactly. In
Yeah,
practice
that
too.
AlphaTauri is going fast, or the V
The
carb.
V-Carb is ready. If only they have good strategy. They got this. They got this in the bag.
All right,
Oh.
hear me out. Hear me out.
Uh-huh. Hearing you out.
P3, Nico Hulkenberg.
He's not. Okay. Nico Hulkenberg.
That's it. That's my entire prediction.
That's all you have.
Fire.
P3 Nico Hulkenberg.
P3, Nico Hulkenberg.
Maybe if it rains and everyone crashes except for 2 other people.
Exactly. There's like a 50% chance I'm right. There's a 50% chance I'm right.
Is it going to be a wet weekend? Please. I love a
Probably.
rainy race.
God, I
No,
hope not.
maybe.
Please.
I know.
The
I hope
Ferrari
so.
can't
It's
handle it.
so Mickey. No, the Ferrari can't handle it, but it's so Mickey, man. That's what makes it the GOAT.
I want one good weekend.
You
Give
don't
me one.
deserve it as a Ferrari fan.
You'll
Let's
get
be
it
real.
during Monaco, and
You
that's
don't
it.
deserve it. Yeah, you will get it during Monaco.
It's worth it.
Leclerc will bring
We get it
home.
during Monaco. It's worth it.
Oh man. All right, gamers. I think we're about ready to wrap it up. Any more questions in chat? All DPS, no healers. Sounds like RMNA 2025. Honestly, kind of true. No support, no healer, no bases, just DPS. That's what we're at this weekend. Chat, I'll give you about 2 more minutes to ask any more questions, and then we'll start signing off. Oh, do I have any more stalling questions? Let me think.
Yeah. What's your favorite robot to work on? The hero, sentry, or the infantry?
Oh, nice. That's a good one. Oh, yeah, they're called infantry now, not standard anymore. They changed that this year.
Standard
Back to
infantry?
infantry.
I don't know. Soldier, they're interchangeable.
I think it's
Of course.
infantry now officially.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, really? Like as of
Yeah, in the
June?
rules
Oh,
books
nice.
as of
I
this
don't
year,
know.
it's been turned back into infantry. But yes,
Thank
what was your
goodness.
favorite robot to work on while you were at TR?
That's a Zoe question. She's mech.
You
But she's
probably
biased.
that's all
Actually,
I
no,
say.
don't ask Zoe. She's just gonna say Sentry because she was Sentry late.
It's not
Why
my fault that
Sentry?
Sentry is the best robot. It's not my fault that Sentry is the best robot. Frame 1, I walked up to the TR tent, and I mean, back then Sentry was on a rail, and I was like,
Mhm.
now that's cool as hell. I did FTC, so all my bots were smaller, much smaller.
Mhm.
We had my team had the smallest bot of our, I don't even know what you call it, league maybe.
Mhm.
So I'd worked on smaller bots. I wanted to work on something different. And then the
Mhm.
next year they were like, what if Sentry was infantry, but autonomous? And I was like,
And
oh,
with 2 barrels.
I was like, okay. But yeah, I like Sentry the most. I think Hero is also very interesting. I like our team strategy of how much can we push it without getting out of, without being disqualified. I love how big Hero is.
Big Hero 6 mentioned.
Big Hero 6. I love it. And Michael's favorite robot to work on is also Sentry.
I just want to say, Hero. Every time I look at Hero, it just makes me laugh. Especially last year, I think it was within a couple of millimeters of the both limits, the width and the height limit last year. And if you tilted the head up, I think it was illegal. So you had to keep it level. This year, it's still going to be a couple millimeters within the width limit, but we brought the head unit down a little bit, so it's safer now.
Yeah, no, that's so fair.
I guess I don't know from an auto perspective, we've been working on the infantry robot since the beginning of the year, and it's been pretty stable to work on so far. Yeah.
Mhm. I'm excited to see these changes. Okay, before we go, chat has asked me to ask this question. What advice did you wish you guys had before you started hosting? If you could go back to June, to July, when you're picked as the host this year of RMNA 2025, what advice would you give to yourselves with the knowledge you have today?
Yeah. So I guess First off, you should start planning before June instead of during June. Start like asking around for comp before like comp ends. So now maybe if you're considering about hosting next year, you should try and talk to your university department and see, like, try and get their financial backing. I'll give this as an example. At UCSD, for the housing, I thought that it would be like CU or UW, where basically like the housing people sell the housing and like that's it. So the team is not really involved. They say we need this amount, they sell it online, and the team doesn't really accept any of the risk. It's the housing department people's risk. For at UCSD, you have to sign a contract for X number of beds, and if you don't fill that number of beds, then you're on the hook for that amount of money, no matter what.
Okay.
So that was pretty rough. And then also you have to collect all the money yourself. The housing people don't have any mechanism to collect the money for you. And so asking to take on $80,000 plus a risk, and then collect $80,000 in a safe, auditable, legal manner was very stressful. So our mechanical engineering department really pulled through for us and said, "We'll handle this for you guys. Don't worry about it." And so just try and like talk with your department, because they have like much larger budgets than you, and if you can secure their like financial backing, not necessarily directly for comp, but in the event that things go wrong, they'll help you out. That really saved us. Make floor plans as early as possible. We had our floor plans before even making our bid document, thanks to the Price Center staff. So that's really just been helpful in guiding our decision making throughout this whole process. I know if we had them later, it definitely would have delayed a lot of the decisions we had to make. Make sure your club advisor has the bandwidth to handle the tasks you give them. We kind of didn't ask our club advisor whether they had the bandwidth to help us with the RMNA. Luckily, they did. She's been really helpful. Our advisor, Sylvia Herbert, and she's really stepped up to the task. But
shout out Sylvia.
Like in the past, TR has not been like super involved with her. She's helped us with the university like funding stuff, but for the most part, she's like played a background role. But here we really need to rely on her to contact various university people, and so she's been really helpful this year and responsive. So just make sure that, like, even if your advisor is not super involved in your team right now, if you're connecting with university resources, you really need to make sure that they're on board so they can help you communicate with university administration. And then I guess finally, okay, like what we've just been saying over and over again, you have no leverage a lot of times at the university level. So you have to build relationships with people, and you have to sort of be kind to all the university staff you come across, and you have to make them want to go to bat for you if you want things out of them. So it's not just transactional as it might be in the business world. You really have to develop these connections with the staff so that they feel motivated to help you out. So yeah.
Incredibly well said, Michael. Incredibly well said. That is a lot of good advice right there. And I think actually we should definitely save that somewhere and just like put you on like the presentation for the bidding and be like, this is the advice that Michael gives, because it's actually very solid advice. I'd absolutely agree. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy. And more than it takes a lot of negotiation, which is obviously something that you have to get started very early if you want anything to get done in your favor. But yeah. How about you, Zoe? Anything to add to that? I know it was a lot to follow, so no worries if not.
The only thing that I would have to add to that, first, Michael said it all, but definitely don't do it alone either. Find other people who can help you. It's a lot to do on your own. It's a lot of emails. I mean, just the task of like cold emailing companies is a nightmare to do alone. Making sure that, people can attend meetings, getting all the graphic stuff done, like all of that. There's a lot of tasks, and getting a, little team of people together who can help get that stuff done is huge.
Amazingly spoken as well. And see, this is why these two are hosting RMNA for us this year, because they're very well spoken, very democratic, and able to actually get stuff done. And we got to applaud our host for that. So thank you guys so much for taking on all this all this risk, taking on all this ability, and really doing this for the community. All of us are incredibly thankful for it. We are hitting 7:30 p.m. PST, 10:30 p.m. EST, which means that Formula One Practice 3 is starting for Japan, and I want to go watch that. So we will be signing off now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to RoboMaster NA's podcasting. We're going to be doing this actually again tomorrow, but not a podcast, a full tournament stream of the Purdue Midwest competition. That's happening tomorrow. We're starting right on the dot at 10 a.m. Or 10:30 a.m. Sorry, EST. You'll see it on this channel and on YouTube, Twitch and YouTube. Which, by the way, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Please like that YouTube. Also, give us your Prime sub on Twitch if you want those fun emotes. Emo pointing again. If you want it, you got to subscribe for it. It's a requirement. But yeah, chat, it's been a great time with you guys. Thanks, everyone, so much for joining us. Thank you to our wonderful hosts, Zoe and Michael. We've really appreciated having you guys on. And thanks again, Ace, for coming in and co-hosting as well. We're excited to see you more as we go closer to the competition. And also, Ace will be commentating during the RoboMaster Midwest competition. You'll see me on stream. You'll see Steven. You'll see Ace. And you will also see Preston, who has been hiding in the background the whole time this time. But yeah. Thank you guys so much. It's been great talking to y'all. Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Bye. Thanks for having us.
See ya.